I don't know if that seems more loaded than general.
No, it's not.
Uh-huh.
It's not.
I mean, I think you have to have the ability to, as a producer, you have to have the ability to utilize your experiences. So this is from somebody now that we're not first-time producers. You have to be able to utilize your experiences to understand if it's a writer-director situation, what they have in mind and how to help them do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's like the basic, the basis. If you can't do that, if you can't kind of express what you've learned and share that in a way that helps them make good choices.
Helps the next project.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's to me, it's a key asset is as you, of a producer, I think, is as you move along and move forward with other projects, it's recognizing your misjudgments, acknowledging your mistakes. I mean, and this is just like life in general, obviously, but in learning from that. But it's so applicable in producing because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to misjudge things. And being able to absorb that and learn from it and then move forward so that the next project's even better and the next project runs smoother, that's so important, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think it also helps that, you know, a really solid producer has a community as well.
Yeah.
You know, they're not working on, we've all talked about Producer Island and we're certainly there, but we're also not on an island now. I mean, in a way that we are able to reach out to industry partners or other financiers in a way that we haven't been able to, you know, in earlier phases of our career. And so we bring more tools to each film than we did. And so that's kind of it's a slightly different answer. It's like, what's the benefit of being an experienced producer? And so those things help. And then, I don't know, I think you have to have the desire to want to have a really strong relationship with people.
Yeah.
Your directors particularly, yeah.
That's a really interesting answer. No, you're right. It's like there's a lot of commitment. Like I asked earlier, how do you manage your long-distance relationship, right? There's a lot of commitments to different people, different types of people, different people's needs. And so if you're somebody who likes the island and doesn't respond well to that, then it would be very challenging.
Yeah, correct. I think it's also like, one of the good benefits of Kelly and I is we don't, you know, if one of our personalities is fitting better with somebody in terms of supporting that relationship, I don't feel that either of us necessarily need to like if I know that Kelly's got it, I don't have this need to insert myself into that particular part of the process. You know, I can find another way to be supportive.
Yeah,
I think
that's the trick. We don't micromanage each other.
Right.
Just like we wouldn't want to be micromanaged. Just like, you know, the relationship with the director shouldn't be that way either. We shouldn't be micromanaging them. Like we're all in it to, you know, for the end goal of making a great film. You know, and when people realize that, it just always goes better.
And also building careers. Like that's something I look forward to now that I've known to look for it. It's like, I mean, everybody kind of talks about like that seems like an obvious, but I think that it's healthy for everybody to kind of understand that this director or writer-director is making a film and they want to make another one. And for them to understand that you want to make another one and that this film is very important, but also let's not everything else doesn't have to be sacrificed to do it. So I think that's an important component and something the film industry certainly could do better wrapping its heart around. Yep.
And then how are you guys managing, you know, personal side of your lives as well. I think most producers are overwhelmed with the amount of work and get caught up working 7 days a week. And, you know, what steps have you taken or should you be taking that you've been thinking about to kind of find a little better work-life balance, although I hate that phrase.
Yeah.
It changes with every, again, not to sound like a broken record, it changes with every project in a weird way sometimes, but it's not, this is probably a big section I'm going to have to get cut out too, but, you know.
I like this section.
No, I find it's a difficult balance. It's probably the toughest balance because sometimes it's easier to just essentially bury your head in work because when you love your work, it's so much easier to do that. And so, but yeah, it is the toughest balance. And if I had an answer for you, I mean, I wish I had an answer for you. Put that away.
Well, I would say a couple of things. Yeah, I mean, I think it's something I've really struggled with. And when I did the producing summit, you know, Creative Capital came in and gave us like a workbook thing that I, at the moment, took very seriously, and then put aside very quickly. You know, the workbook was basically telling you needed to carve out time to do longer-term stuff. You needed to carve out time to not be working at all. And by just the nature of what felt like the to-dos or the tasks of the day and a desire to be that, you know, those solid producers who are making things, maybe to a fault, was too available and to the point where I think at times we've for sure pushed ourselves too hard. And so I would say this year we've been trying to find more time to figure out how to be more healthy outside of work. It's a learned behavior, not an obvious one.
Right. Absolutely. It's a tough balance for sure. As you know, Rebecca.
As I know. I think that's good. Is there anything you guys want to add before I turn off the recording?
I mean, I don't know if there's any, just in kind of rounding out the Long Dumb Road part, any component of, you know, we kind of talked about how we got on board the project. I think just it was if we talked about growth in terms of producers on that particular project, it was unique for us to go shoot a film in Albuquerque, which was, you know, kind of like what you did when you went to Kentucky or Tennessee.
Yeah.
You're going to a new place, and you're not, you know, with Pit Stop and Hellion, in 6 years, we made those features in our own backyard. We had the chance to know most of the crew in some capacity ahead of time, and that wasn't necessarily the case with going to Albuquerque. We were in a place where, you know, there's a film rebate. There's a lot of competition for crew. We were able to bring a few people from our past films, which was an enormous help. But it was, you know, learning the geography of a place, learning the whole politics of that film community. And we had to very quickly, that's what was great about having, I think essential about having 3 on-the-ground producers on that film, was it was a film that was more logistically intense than any of the previous films. We were facing like massive weather and like every film, the aspirations were beyond the budget in terms of locations, in terms of number of shots within a day. And so I'd say it was, you know, one of the things I'm really excited about is seeing that so many of the aspirations within the budget were achieved. But yeah, I think it was I think shooting in Albuquerque was a real, like, kind of next level step for us. And we want to keep shooting films in other places. So we've done 2 outside or 3 now at this point.
outside of our